Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike and this is Build and Tinker. Today we're carrying on our build of the 1966 Batmobile from Fanhome DeAgostini. Last time we did the transmission and today we're going to make it a start on the engine. So let's get building. So in the last video we finished issues 5 and 6 and today we're going to start with issue 7 and we'll do issue 8 as well. These are engine components and let's take a look at the pieces that we get with issue 7. So we have some screws and we also have part of the engine block. This piece here. And it's die cast, it's metal, so it's a really good chunky piece and I think the engine's going to look fantastic when it's done. We also have some brackets. Let's see if we can get these out. And some other ancillary components. So let's take a look at the first step. And for that we're going to assemble a bracket. This bracket is 2 parts and you'll see from when you look at the diagram which way around they go. Again, they're actually made of metal, so they're nice strong pieces. There is a little peg in one of them to ensure it keys in the right way around. And we use a single AM screw to put that in. There we go. Let's get the light screwdriver. And there we are, that's step 1 complete. And now we have to attach this bracket to the engine block. So we take the engine block and we put it, I like to orientate the parts the same way they are in the picture just to make it easier. This fits into a gap here and it screws in from behind. Okay, so there's a hole here and this sits on top of it, and then we use another AM screw. Oops. And that AM screw goes in from behind. Let's try that again. Okay. And there it is. Next we're going to assemble the distributor. So we have the distributor cap and then a cap center. These are plastic parts and the cap center simply push fits over the center of the cap. I'm guessing there's going to be some HT leads to go on those at some point. And then we have here on this plastic sprue a number of distributor cap plugs, they've called them, and we need to break these off one at a time and just gently push them over the top of the cap. Some people may want to paint their cap first, but at the moment it's black caps on a black distributor cap, so it's not massively clear the distinction in these parts. I don't know what colour the original cap is on one of these engines, but a lot of the cars I've worked on in the past, distributor caps were kind of a reddish colour, sometimes blue. Who knows, maybe these ones were black. If you know, then put something in the comments. fitted. And the next piece is this vacuum advanced unit, 07G, and it pushes onto a hole in the side of the distributor base. The hole is keyed, it's not round, so it ensures that it goes on facing the correct direction. Just like that. And then finally the distributor shaft, which fits into a hole in the engine block, which is also keyed. So we line that up. In fact, before we do that, let's get the screw. This fits with a TP screw. Which goes in from behind. One of those pieces where it helps to have 3 hands. And with that screwed in place, it shouldn't rotate. And then the distributor just simply push fits onto the top. Again, the hole is keyed to ensure that it faces the correct way with the vacuum unit sticking out the side. And there it is. Our final piece. So that's the end of issue 7, quite a quick one. So let's move on to issue 8. So here are the parts for issue 8, and it's focusing on the underside of the engine with the oil pan, a couple of hoses, and we'll also put the alternator on. First step is to assemble the oil pan and its base. These are plastic parts, and they simply push together. And then they're held together with 2 AP screws. Next we take the pan hose and the oil pan hose bracket. So let's find that bracket. I think it's this piece, which is incredibly small, so be gentle with it. It has a very small pin. I don't know how well you can see that. It has a very small pin sticking out of it. That goes in one end of this small piece of hose. That fit quite easy. There's another tiny pin sticking out the side. Apparently. It fits onto this. Okay, now there's a pin sticking out the side of the oil pan, and this sits over that pin. Again, it's very fragile, so I'm a bit worried about it breaking off. Well, there we go. Then the top of the oil pan attaches this way around. I think it can only go on one way round. You can feel it click into place. And then 2 more AP screws. And now we start on the, they call it the generator. I'd probably call it an alternator. There's the cover, the inner pulley. These are OBI and OBJ, the part numbers, and they simply, the pulley with the fan part fits over the top of the stud on OBI. And then we've got a couple of washers. Now they're called OBL and OBK. Sorry, 08L and 08K. I read the 8s as Bs. I don't, again, I'm not sure if you can tell, but they're different heights. One is taller than the other. So we first fit the tallest one, narrow end in first, then the shallow one with the narrow end in first, and a single TP screw holds that into place. And these pulleys will spin still. So I'm guessing there's going to be a bout on there. So we have this cylindrical piece, which is the going to go on the rear of the alternator. It has a bit that sticks out. I don't know if you see it. A little bit there that sticks out. And this goes onto the back of the piece we've just assembled, the back of the alternator. There's a small hole on one end, big hole on the other. The small hole goes over the alternator that we've just made over the back, and we take another TP screw and we have to feed it all the way down through that hole to screw in the other end. This is where magnetic screwdrivers are incredibly useful, because you can't see where you're putting it and it might drop off, so that holds it in place. Again, this can rotate, so I'm not quite sure yet where this other piece that sticks out is going to go. So I'm not going to do it up fully tight because I want to be able to rotate it a little bit, but it's tight enough that it's not wobbly. We now have a cap. And that just fits over the large hole there. So that's now finished the generator, as they call it. And they want us to attach it to the engine block from the last issue, from issue 7, using the one remaining TP screw. I say one remaining, they always give you spares, so if you've got one of each screw left at the end of each issue, that's fine. If you've got more than one, then you either got lucky with the spares or you've missed something. So we take the TP screw, and where does that go? Okay, there's a hole in the bottom corner of the engine block for the screw, and the little hole that sticks out at a right angle that we saw earlier that goes over there, and again it is keyed, so it should only fit one way. There we go. Again, 3 hands would be really useful right now. So does anyone use any kind of a clamp or set of grips or helping hands or something to hold model components while they're building? If you do, let me know what you use. Put a link in the comments. Be happy to get some and try them out. There we go. Right. So we now have the generator attached to the side. There is one more piece in this set, but we're not going to fit it today. It's a metal bracket. According to the parts list, it's a bracket for the generator, but obviously whatever it attaches to we don't have yet. So keep that part safe along with your oil pan, because that's not being attached or anything yet. And I try to use some of these parts trays to just keep these things safe, or if you've got little boxes or pill boxes or screw boxes, there's loads of things you can use to keep all the bits safe. But that was the last step. So that was issue 6 and 7 of the Fanhome 1/8 scale 1966 Batmobile. We now have part of an engine, and in the next couple of issues we'll be looking to put some more engine pieces together. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.